The prophecy of the two witnesses in Revelation 11 is among the most enigmatic Messianic prophecies. It parallels the Daniel 9 prophecy in terms of its importance in setting expectations for the cataclysmic events that unfold during the final judgment of the satanic world of the Caucasian people. This makes the prophecy of the two witnesses in Revelation 11 an eschatological prophecy. What is the meaning of eschatological or eschatology? Eschatology is formed from the Greek terms eschatos and logos, which combined means the study of final things, as it relates to the Messianic prophecies contained in the Bible and Quran canons. This bears on the relationship between and among the various prophecies, as this final thing is Almighty Allah's absolute judgment and subsequential wrath that eliminates the world of Satan forever. As such, the Daniel 9 prophecy and the prophecy of the two witnesses in Revelation 11 represent two expressions or narratives about the same events that close out the world of Satan to make way for the eternal kingdom of Almighty Allah. This raises the fact that the Bible and Quran canons are not historical chronologies of actual events, but rather concurrent prophetic narratives of the same storyline, each having a different set of characters or actors. This point is established in both the Bible and Quran canons. In chapter 28 of the Quran, verse 51 states, quote, "And certainly we, Allah, have made the word to have many connections for their sake, so that they may be mindful," end quote. It holds true that the final judgment of Almighty Allah can only occur once. As such, the connections between various narratives of the Messianic prophecies are different depictions of this one-time, final Messianic event. The fulfillment of the prophecy of the two witnesses in Revelation 11 occurs when the two witnesses are present and at work, fulfilling the events described in allegorical form in this chapter. All explanations from religious scholars and theologians put forth prior to the arrival of the time of the two witnesses are mere conjectures, to say the least, since the allegories require explanation. Only the fulfillers can provide the correct explanation. The seventh part of the Daniel 9 prophecy montage series ends with the declaration that the two witnesses described in Revelation 11 are the Honorable Louis Farrakhan and Karriem Allah, the Messianic tandem, or two messiahs, written about in Jewish messianism dating back centuries. What does this mean? The answer is in the New Testament in 1 Peter, where it states, quote, "Forasmuch as ye know that ye were not redeemed with corruptible things, as silver and gold, from your vain conversation received by tradition from your fathers, but with the precious blood of Christ, as of a lamb without blemish and without spot, who verily was foreordained before the foundation of the world, but was manifest in these last times for you," end quote. There is much to this prophecy that must be understood. The two most fundamental points are: 1. Christ comes in the last days to permanently eliminate the world of Satan, and 2. The destruction of the world of Mr. Yaqub, or Satan, was established before it was realized, which is why the Bible and Quran canons describe the Day of Judgment. According to the ministry of Karriem Allah, this is the great value of knowing the Messianic prophecies, because such knowledge sets expectations that enable those with open minds to prepare for and possibly escape the worst of these cataclysmic events. Those who are set in their ways and refuse to consider other possibilities are destined to experience the most horrible outcomes. Fortunately, religious scholars and theologians throughout the ages have agreed that the two witnesses described in Revelation 11 are to appear at the end of the world. There should be no doubt in anyone's mind that we have arrived at the end of the satanic world of the Caucasian people. Furthermore, The prolific ministries of the Honorable Louis Farrakhan and Karriem serve as evidence and proof that they are these two witnesses. Notwithstanding, it remains prudent to explain this reality. Let us begin by setting the premise for approaching the interpretation and explanation of the Messianic prophecies. Why is this necessary? We cannot assume that we know what we are truly looking at when reading the narratives in the Bible and Quran canons. Merely declaring these books to be the Word of God does not remove our responsibility to carefully analyze narratives that have been clearly written by men, whether divinely inspired or not. When pursuing interpretations and explanations of the Messianic prophecies in the Bible and Quran canons, among the most important things that must be ascertained is the identity of the person narrating the story or scene. Let us consider this point very carefully, because this essential factor is most often overlooked or ignored. Yet this must be accounted for if we are to gain sound footing for interpreting that particular prophetic story or scene. There are several layers that must be considered in the effort to identify the narrator of the scene or story in the Messianic prophecy in question. For example, the first verse in Revelation 11 states, quote, "And there was given me a reed, like unto a rod. And the angel stood, saying, Rise and measure the temple of God, and the altar, and them that worship therein." End quote. Let us first reinforce the fact that most people agree that the book of Revelation contains eschatological prophecies, meaning events foreseen to occur in the last days of the world of Satan. With this fact in mind, the overall story, as well as all actors depicted in this specific prophetic account, appear during the last days, the day of judgment. This is what has made the book of Revelation the most troublesome and mysterious writing to understand. Yet, such understanding must be derived from the question, what is the book of Revelation? According to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the book of Revelations is the vision that Almighty Allah gave to the maker of this world of evil, Mr. Yaqub, who is identified as John or John the Revelator. As such, Mr. Yaqub is describing the events that ends his world, and that ending comes at the hands of Jesus, the Christ. As established in the first two verses in Revelation 1, quote, "The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him, to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John, who bare record of the word of God, and of the testimony of Jesus Christ, and of all things that he saw." End quote. The book of Revelations is also known as the Apocalypse of Jesus Christ. Hence, Revelation refers to Apocalypse, which is the unveiling of prophesied events. We can safely agree that the overall event is the destruction of the world of Satan. The revelation or apocalypse of Jesus Christ then depicts in allegorical form how this monumental event is realized, with the Christ having the central role. What is the most effective way to describe events involved in the destruction of the world of Satan? The answer to this question is found in any fictional story. How so? In fiction, the author tells the story by assuming various roles associated with the story. Foremost, the author is the onlooker, which is the person describing the entire story from beginning to end. The onlooker can be perceived as the dome that covers the entire storyline. Within this dome, however, the author must assume the role of some of the characters in order to place various scenes throughout the story in the present tense. As it relates to the Messianic prophecies, ascertaining the fulfiller of the present tense characters is the most challenging, yet most ignored or evaded task. Returning to Revelation 11, it is evident that John the Revelator, or Mr. Yaqub, is acting out a character in the present tense, who is describing something that he has experienced, which is in the past, or past tense. Again, it states in verse 1, quote, "And there was given me a reed, like unto a rod," end quote. This is similar to any person saying to a friend, "I received a free ticket to a theater." According to the Bible and Quran canons, the correct interpretation and explanation of the Messianic prophecies come from Almighty Allah through His Messiah. This was established in the Quran canon. It states in Surah or chapter 3, quote, "He has sent down upon thee the book with the truth, confirming what was before it, and He sent down the Torah and the Gospel. It is He who sent down upon thee the book, wherein are verses clear that are the essence of the book, and others ambiguous, allegorical. As for those in whose hearts is swerving, they follow the ambiguous part, desiring dissension and desiring its interpretation, and none knows its interpretation, save only God, and He, Allah, will teach him, Messiah, the book, the wisdom, the Torah, the Gospel," end quote. Again, the Messiah appears in the last days of the world of Satan. Fortunately, we can examine the prolific ministries of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, and Karriem Allah to affirm that each has put forth indisputable and invincible interpretations and explanations of the fulfillment of the Messianic prophecies that encompass their presence individually and collectively.